So Adam, deep water squidding.
Yes.
You've got a couple of hints for me?
Well, the idea is to cast out as far up current as you can and really just allow your jig to get to the bottom. So it's a matter of watching the line on the surface, and that's the key, is being able to see the line. It's not only to indicate whether a squid has grabbed your jig or not, but it's also to tell you when your jig is on the bottom. Now, unfortunately, sometimes when it does touch the bottom, you will collect a little bit of weed. But after a while, you'll be able to feel that on the first on the first jig. You'll be able to feel if it's a bit heavy. Then quickly wind it in, get it off, and then you'll probably need to do a countdown system. So cast out, count down to maybe 2 or 3 seconds above where your jig was hitting the bottom, and then start your retrieve from there. But you should be able to see the line will be slightly tight on the surface, or it'll be pulling, some little ripples will be coming off. And as soon as the line relaxes completely, that's when you know you're on the bottom.
Gotcha.
Well, I think we're in the right spot, Billy boy.
I think we are.
For a bit of deep squidding.
Now, deep water, 10 to 15 metres?
Oh, absolutely. Down to, I mean, you can successfully squid fish probably down to 20, 25 metres.
Yeah, really.
That takes a bit of technique, and the tackle's got to be right. So you've got to be using very thin braid, because obviously the braid wants to float, and it does create a lot of resistance, stopping the jig from sinking. But with, say, some nice thin 6-pound braid, and some obviously fairly light leader as well, like 10 pound. You can get your jig down there. Now, there's obviously also some chin weights, which we covered.
I was going to say nose weights. I was going to
nose weights,
them.
chin weights.
Chin weights.
Oh, it's actually either way will work. Yeah, either. But yeah, you
now, I'm not using any weight.
No, we're in shallow enough water.
11 metres, I think, at the
so
moment.
these 3.5s, I've got a 3.5 deep, which is a few grams heavier than yours, but we're still managing, because there's not much movement here in the water flow.
See bang on the bottom there. Yeah. And with the current, I reckon it's just
it's only a little bit of current, so we can fish these 3.5s pretty successfully. So this is what you can expect from the deep water. At this, I mean, there's certain times of year when the big squid come in to congregate to breed, and this is one of them. But during these bright sunny days, they don't spend too much time in the ultra shallows. They'll come out into these slightly deeper channels and gutters to feed. And this looks like.
And have a look at that, mate. Eh?
Looks
deep
like
water
one.
Squid mean what? Big squid.
Yes,
how big is that?
I don't know. It's got a bit on.
It's okay.
It's not a small one. Do you want to?
Might grab a bit of a net.
Yeah, we might need a bit of a net for this one. Pretty sure I'm not keen to pole this one directly in the boat. But there we go.
Look at that.
That's pretty much.
That's pretty good.
Beautiful, mate. That is exactly what we've come for here. Is a squid of about that calibre. Now, you can see, obviously with no barbs, these hooks just pull straight on out. That's the reason you have to stay tight. You have to keep the rod loaded, but don't force them to the boat. Use the rod, use the entire length of the rod, the parabolic action of the rod, of which we've spoken about, and just keep the line tight. And obviously when you get them on board, that will just literally fall out of them if you reverse the action. But that's not a bad squid. Beautiful. Southern calamari squid. Oh, thank you very much.
Gotcha.
And yeah, there he is. Or she. Actually, this would probably a he.
A he?
Probably.
That's a big he.
45.
Ooh.
Actually, the he's are bigger than the she's.
All right, okay.
Yeah, the he's are bigger than the she's. And what happens is the females come in, lay the eggs, and then nick off, and the males are left.
Look after the eggs.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously being bigger in that department is going to be a bonus for them.
Deep water, Adam, you use a lot of sprays?
I do use a bit of spray, yeah. Look, the sprays I use, there's a couple of different types around. Some of them just give your jig some scent, and others just give your jig some either glow in the dark or, which is more important, some UV particles, tiny microscopic particles of ultra reflective UV bits and pieces in the spray. Which some jigs already have in them, but these just impart a slightly different feel.
Yeah, from my way of thinking, it's new technology.
Yeah.
So this stuff here. You can buy this UV glow. It actually is for use during the day in bright light.
Yep.
The UV light penetrates down into the deep water, hence deep water squidding.
Hugely important when you're fishing for squid deep is to make sure that your jigs either have UV abilities on them already, or get some sprays that'll help. Yeah, which this one doesn't. This one has no UV ability at all. So by applying this the spike at UV glow, it's just going to help it. Downstairs, it really helps.
I reckon one of the most important things about deep water squidding is you can't do it anywhere. You've got to be over a weed bed.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, mud and sand. You'll still catch squid there, but
they're
only
not going to live there.
No, only when they're commuting from one reef patch or one weed patch to another. So they need that weed to be able to camouflage it, regardless of what depth of water they're in. If they're in the depths here and they're trying to catch food that lives in the depths, well, all of those things that they eat have adjusted themselves to that depth of water, so they can see just as well as the squid can see them. So the squid still needs a camouflage, still needs a cover, and they use the weed and the reef as that.
Colour-wise, mate, I've been trying a bright orange. I noticed you've got a gold, a darker colour.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing for a grass whiting imitation.
Exactly. Sometimes,
over the weed.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes you need to match the hatch. As the best. It's a very cliche saying, I know, but it does work well. And in situations like this where the water is really clear, and it's obviously it's not middle of the day. It's sort of early morning, but the squid will be looking to ambush the right type of food, and they're not really going to break cover to race out and eat something that they're unsure of. So if you can give something to them that looks like what they eat, then they're going to be more willing to break that cover, because they'll sit down in the weed and wait. They have to wait for the stuff to mingle back in and get around them again. And then they'll look at all the different stuff that they can have a crack at. And if there's lots of little stuff, they probably won't go for it. But if there's something big, juicy like this, comes cruising past it, they go, yep, I know what you are. I've eaten you before. Like this imitation of a grass whiting, and this big imitation of maybe like a big weedy prawn or a big shrimp or something. Then yeah. So we've got the beta jig here in the rod holder, which is just sitting there by itself. It's probably snagged on the bottom now, but look at that. You've done a great job, mate. Look at that. And that's exactly what you need to do. You can just feed them another jig and they're good to go. Just lean him over. Just hold the net in the water and bring the squid directly over the net, and then you're in. Look at that. What a massive fish.
How good is that?
Look at it. Wow, there it is, mate. Look at that. That's
special.
There, you can see all the bite marks all over it here. That would be from battles with other squid, mostly for territory, I'd say, but could be a little bit. This one could have spawned twice. Okay. They can spawn once or twice in their lives. Yep. As we said before, they only live for about 300 odd days. So, this one's done a lot of eating in the last 300 days to put on that sort of weight. That's it. But there's your jig. Now, look at that. That is literally just stuck in one of those tentacles, and just reverse it and it is out of there. You did a beautiful job on the rod. Another squid designed rod here. It's got nice and parabolic, it's got the right action, and that's the result if you use the right gear at the right time in the right depth of water.
That's it.
Good work, mate.
Nice.
Excellent.
It's Bill Klassen here from The Fishing Show, and if you like this instructional video and want to learn more, it's simple. Go to fishingshowtv.com.au and see a whole host of additional videos.